Now, in the realm of what we are doing and looking at Nnamdi Kanu, we want to understand the mind of Nnamdi Kanu by the revelation God gave to him. Now, this video I played now have told you all of these details. Now, I'm going to play another video or audio. It's not an audio anyways, because it's not really showing so many things. I'm going to play another audio that will pass another information of what Nnamdi Kanu said about what Satan cannot do. Listen.
What they want to do. But if you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, because Zoo is a failed state.
If you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, cannot give you an answer, does not know, because Zoo is a failed state, which means, in other words, Zoo is a product of Satan. Which means that when you invoke on this or decide to go with the devil or demons or Satan in the quest for Biafra, the result will always be the Zoo mandate or the product of the Zoo. The result will always be like the Zoo. That means anybody who engages in the activity of Biafra, patronizing the devil, will only get the result of the Zoo. That is what Nnamdi Kanu is saying here. He said Satan does not know the alternative to Biafra. That is why the Zoo is an enclave of Satan. Let me play it again so you can understand. I'll play it again and again. Just watch.
What they want to do. But if you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, because Zoo is a failed state. They will.
Now, I'll still play it fully for you to hear everything, but I want you to get this first part of it. If you ask Satan, now, just imagine, now this is the man God gave the vision for Biafra. Now, here he is telling you that Satan does not have anything to do with the concept of truth, which Biafra represents. If you ask Satan, Satan does not even have answer for anything that is an alternative to Biafra. That is why the Zoo is a failed state, because the Zoo does not have anything to do with God. It consists of Satan and the fullness of Satan. So when you pursue Biafra, thinking of the devil as a means of approach or as a deity to be approached, you are only going to get a product that is likened or that is evident of the Zoo. So when Simon says that he can patronize the devils, I'll assure you that he's already patronizing the devils. He was telling you, indirectly passing the message to you, if you don't know how to read in between lines. And for him to mention that alone tells you that what he is doing is of the devil or Satan. And of course, when it has to do with Satan, the result will be the narrative of the devil or of the Zoo. That means everything that Nigeria represents is what you are going to get in the Biafra he's chasing. Now, let me give you an instance of that. Now, today, ESN is destroyed. Now, let me tell you what is happening. Some of you don't know what is happening on ground. Simon's chief killer, who is Butuzo, commanding his men, are against ESN. They are killing young men and all of that. They are right now. They are fighting. In fact, they are having issues with Simon right now. But I don't want to go into those details because that is how they will destroy themselves. It is a law. You cannot come and destroy what the truth wants to establish and think that you're going to survive. No, it's not possible. Now, the reason why somebody like Butuzo is designed and put in this program is because the devil is involved. When the devil is involved, the program is for selfish agenda, and which means that the results you're going to get, the kind of Biafra they're expecting to get for you, is the Biafra that is not transparent, that is not accountable, that is of evil, of wickedness, and that is the same as Nigeria. Which means that if you give this kind of people who cannot even tell you foundationally what they are doing and could go against what Nnamdi Kanu represents and talk about demons and divide the camp and set their own men and divide the ESN and make sure that ESN is confused and divided right now, and then you give, and they cannot tell you, give your account and put the monies in somebody's husband's account, and they are all there feasting from the money, making their own their own manipulations and gain their own gains and all of that from that money of Biafra, people contributing every day, every month, or every week, and all of that, because people contribute daily. So there are some people who send money to that account anytime. There are some people who send during fundraising. There are some people who don't send during the fundraising. They send anytime. So monies are coming there, and they are taking those monies, using the monies to divide and destroy. Now, oh my God, I'm going to dedicate a particular day to come and give you analysis of ESN and what is going on ESN. I mean, the camp, or what's going on with ESN and other militia groups, the one created by Simon, the one created by Soludo, and all of this stuff, and let you understand, because most of you are speaking from the point of ignorance, and that's why we know, well, you are not ignorant. We're telling you now. So if you don't believe it, that's your business, and the evil that will come upon you, well, will be grave, and it will be terrible for you, but it's better for you to believe. Now, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says that Satan does not understand and cannot give us an alternative to Biafra, which means Satan is not supposed to be patronized, because Satan is not part of the program. Because if somebody does not have the capability of being contributing positively to your life, then you cannot engage with that person anyways, whether relationship-wise or any other way. That's what it means. If the narrative here is, according to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom Simon is claiming is his father, and he's a disciple to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says Satan cannot give us results, because Satan does not have the results, does not have the formula, does not have what it takes, does not have the knowledge of what and how Biafra can come. And Simon now tells you that I'm going to patronize the devil, Satan, in the quest for Biafra. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tells you that Satan does not know how Biafra can be achieved. Simon tells you he's going to patronize the devil to get Biafra. What does that mean? That means there is a plan to corrupt Biafra and make that Biafra become a product of what is anti-Biafra, which means what you're going to get will not be Biafra, even if the name Biafra will be given to it. Like when you talk about Christianity, there are so many things going on under Christianity that is of religious programs of different sects, especially the Roman Empire that designed this sect, and then other people came up with their Pentecostal, all these Pentecostal shenanigans and all of that, and everybody started creating their own sect out of Christianity. That does not really corrupt the original form of Christianity, but we know that there are other bodies that call themselves Christians, but yet doing evil. For instance, in Kenya, 201 people were exhumed from a grave in the east coast of Kenya, of one particular sect called something light, something of one particular sect that is named a church, which is a cult where over 600 and something people have been missing so far, and they have exhumed 201 bodies so far. And that is also, the man tells you he's a Christian, it's part of Christianity, and he tells them that they have to starve themselves to death. Some of them were strangled to death. He tells them that all this program is meant to meet the Christ, Jesus, or meet Yahushua Mashiach. Now, you see, people can always profess a particular mandate, but which they are not of. When they see that that mandate is credible enough to give them attention, they can profess it without being part of it. So when you hear Simon talking about Biafra and all of that, he is actually building his own organization, even if he knows that the name Biafra would only boost his ability to manipulate the people and deceive the people. Just like what Christ said in Matthew chapter 24, he said, many shall come in my name and say, I'm Christ, and shall deceive many. Because that name Christ talks about truth, talks about accountability, talks about deliverance, talks about freedom, and all of that. So when you showcase or present to the people that name, telling them you're coming in that name, they are easily deceived. And that is why somebody like that woman who in Kenya, in spite of the fact that she has seen over 201 people dead from that same church, she says she wants to still go that way. She wants to serve herself because she wants to still meet that Christ, because she has been deceived by that name and concept from the mouth of that man, that occultic man. So when we're going to go for Biafra through the concept of the devil and get Biafra, he is actually using, just like people can use the name of Christ in vain, he's actually using Biafra in vain and giving you a false narrative about what it is. And that's just the truth. It's how Simon and his rogue team and Chinansa Nworu have destroyed this whole thing. I will tell you guys. I'm going to come one day, I'll dedicate that day for this, and I'm going to play so many audios that day. And I'm going to lots of things, lots of revelation, because people must understand what is happening. People must understand what is happening so that you know the truth, because it's the truth that will set us free, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said here, now listen, I'm going to play that video again to the end, and then I'm going to play another one where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about Simon, which we all promoted as at that time. We promoted him and gave the hype. But you will hear what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said about Satan. And then listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says here about Satan. And then go back to what Simon talked about, how he's going to patronize Satan. Then you now understand with your brain, common sense, know if something has not gone wrong somewhere. Now watch this.
What they want to do. But if you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, because Zoo is a failed state. They will recruit all the Asabo from everywhere and fund them. Ojukwu faced worse than what we are facing today. Yet he held out for 3 years. Talk less of when we are able to match them, toe to toe. We can fight for 1,000 years, I can assure you. I thank you all for listening, wherever you are. I pray for the blessing and mercy of the Most High.
Now you see the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ended that broadcast. He said that Satan does not know the formula to Biafra. And he said that the only thing that Nigeria system does is to recruit people to destroy. Now, what does Simon do today? He sends his men, they keep threatening. They want to destroy. Anywhere you see lies, death follows. Anywhere you see lies, destruction follows. Anywhere you see lies, they go in tandem with murder. Murder, M-U-R-D-E-R, murder. Murder, not mother. That is murder, your mother. Murder. That means they go to kill. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that if Satan does not know, then what Satan can only produce is not truth, it's lies. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made reference to Nigeria, which means Nigeria is a product of lies. And anybody who goes to patronize Satan is actually, since Satan is in charge of lies and the fundamental controller and the originator of lies, then it means that Nigeria is a lie product. And if Nigeria is a lie product, and anybody goes to support, to patronize lies, that person is actually looking for an end product that is like Nigeria. Now, listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said to Simon in this particular stuff. Listen.
Thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently, the end result is always assured, is victory.
Did you hear that? Oh, Simon, oh wow, he praised Simon so much. Just like Jesus prayed and praised Paul. Praised Peter. He said, flesh and blood have not revealed this to you. The Spirit has revealed this to you. And then his video analysis. Fine, quite all right, good. He said he's bringing a new genre, he's bringing a new design, because that is not the usual way, that has been done. He's bringing a new style, UI's videos and all of that. Good, that's fine, but don't let Satan enter you, because the problem we have is that discipline. Let me play it again so that those who have their brains are locked up in the cagey, dingy dungeon of satanic designs would come to terms. That is if they can be saved. Watch this.
Thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application.
He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. Because as soon as you lose these grounds, you are automatically walking in the dimension of satanic inspiration. And once you get that, once you get on that platform of satanic inspiration, the next thing that happens is that we give you IPOB treatment. It doesn't matter who you are. That's what Mazin Amdekan said. In fact, Mazin Amdekan said if he himself becomes a propagator of satanic manipulation and script, we should get him down at once. Gun him down. The closest person will gun him down. If you don't do that, you are a coward. And that is what I want to tell everyone here who is in Israel and doing what they are doing here, supporting Simon's criminality. You are a coward, and you will be judged by the Spirit. Because what Mazin Amdekan said, if we should do to him, if he misses it, you refuse to do it, rather you are supporting it. Simon is stealing all the monies. You are here, you are giving him the monies. Simon and Azuka, they are stealing the monies. You are giving them the money and hailing them, using those monies to destroy what Mazin Amdekan represents. Two things is this: you will not benefit from the money. Two, even if you are benefiting, it's temporarily, you're benefiting. And then three, you are going to get the same judgment with Simon. So Simon enjoys all of this stuff, and you get the same judgment with him. So you see how terrible it's going to be. Simon enjoys all of the stuff, even if he's going to be judged, but you will not enjoy all of the stuff. You will still be judged and have the same, destruction with him. So now listen to what Mazin Amdekan said here about devils. You heard him when he said, "Don't go after demons. Don't let the devil enter into you. Don't let demons enter into you. Even if you are doing a good job, don't let demons enter into you." Now listen to what Mazin Amdekan said here. Satan cannot give it to you.
That's what they want to do. But if you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, because Zoo is a failed state. They will recruit all their sabo from everywhere and fund them. Ojukwu faced worse than what we are facing today. Yet he held out for 3 years. Talk less of when we are able to match them, toe to toe. We can. The worst mistake Buhari ever made was to arrest him. The worst.
Satan does not have what it takes to give us freedom. Satan does not have the scope, the design, the plan. He doesn't understand what freedom means. That is what Mazin Amdekan was saying. And here now, he gives an order. He said, don't let the devil enter you. If you allow the devil enter you, you are not going to be disciplined. You are not going to be calculative. You are not going to listen to it again.
Thank Simon Ekpa for actually bringing it up. I think Simon Ekpa does this very brilliant video analysis, which I think is a new genre, so to speak, in this propagation. I think he's doing a very good job, and may he continue and let the demon not go into him. He should remain focused, applied, and disciplined. You know, our problem is lack of application and discipline. Once you're disciplined and you apply yourself dutifully and diligently,
this is breach of spiritual security when you say you're going to connect to devils. Have you ever wondered why Mazin Amdekan, anytime he talks about Simon, he keeps saying, don't let Satan enter you? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Don't let Satan enter you. And does it make you wonder why Simon will still come up and talk about embracing demons and Satan for Biafra? How can you embrace lies to achieve the truth? How can you embrace the opposite that is contrary to what you are expecting to get? There is something wrong there. That's the question. That's what you're going to tell yourself. There's something wrong there. For those who are very reasonable, you know there's something wrong there. Now listen to this video.
Support both sides. If they give us peace, that is wonderful. If they decide to go down the route of violence, then I can give you this assurance today. Of course, your worldwide listeners and viewers may be able to note this. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo they call Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not 2013 to 20. 15. We had scientists then, now we have men that can make things happen, even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization or whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I'm a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened.
This is our leader talking. And he was telling us how we can get our freedom. And he was giving us the secret that the only way is to go very rigorously and forcefully to get it. We had the opportunity using the election. Simon presented himself as if he understood that, and he messed it up. And suddenly, what he is doing now is to tell you that he's doing this. He's putting the house here. He's building this house. He's buying this property. He's acquiring this. He's putting the resources that would have been utilized to, if he's true, to get a system that will bring Nnamdi Kanu out and give us Biafra. Now, I want to tell you something. You see, those ones who are tagging me and telling me nonsense about it, I've told you, you guys are not reasonable. Leave Simon to express himself and finish everything he's doing, then we will not talk. Let him, he says he has an office in USA headquarters. We will not talk. I have his previous statements and broadcasts, and I have the current stuff. So I have his letters where he says he has it too. So let him finish. Or you think we're stupid? We know what we're doing. We called him out, and he decided to go all out to go and do what he wants to do. So we're waiting. So don't go that way, because that is unnecessary. Now listen to this.
Without Biafra, you are nothing. As long as you are from Biafra land, by which I mean Ishekiri, Urobo, Isoko, if you're from Izon, if you come from Igala, from Idoma, you are Igbo, you are Ibibio, you are Efik. I am telling you the truth. If you serve the zoo, you will come back in disgrace. The only thing left for you to fight for is Biafra. Only Biafra can save you.
Only Biafra can save you. But how can you achieve Biafra? Now listen to this, how you can achieve Biafra.
What they want to do. But if you ask Satan, what is the alternative to Biafra? Even Satan cannot answer, because zoo is a failed state. They will recruit all the Asabo from everywhere and fund them.
If Satan cannot tell us how to achieve Biafra, then why tell us that you're going to patronize Satan? Is anybody putting things together here? Nnamdi Kanu tells us Satan does not know what it takes and does not have the know-how on how to achieve Biafra, because he's working contrary, which means he is a product, or I'm sorry, he's an epitome of Nigeria. Everything Nigeria is what Satan can really produce. Everything that you see in Nigeria, or any kind of attitude or the actions of Nigeria, is what is expressible in the concept of Satan. That is the only thing Satan knows. He doesn't know anything about Biafra because he's not on the truth. He cannot stand on the truth. He doesn't understand truth. He cannot be called the truth. He cannot be founded on the truth. His concept and everything is on lies. And as I told you, it's on mirage, because lies means what does not exist. Now Simon tells us he's going to go patronize Satan to get Biafra. What does that tell you? That means something is wrong somewhere. And I want to tell you guys, those of you who find it hard to stand on the truth because you just want to, because you just have an emotional attachment to somebody and you just want to hate other people, because why would it be them talking about this? I want to tell you something. You see, when you find yourself in a situation where you can easily and comfortably, renounce is the truth, just know that something is fundamentally wrong with you and you are very evil. Anybody who finds it very easy to betray the truth is fundamentally evil. Anybody, be scared of anybody who can easily just wave the truth, easily. Their conscience does not prick them. Just be careful of those kinds of people. Be careful of them. Now listen to the principles in this particular audio that Nnamdi Kanu gave us. If you miss any of these principles, you have broken the edge. You have breached spiritual security, and you can never achieve Biafra. You can never get Biafra. Listen to them one after the other and write out everything Nnamdi Kanu says in this. After I have played all of these audios that you have listened, where Nnamdi Kanu tells Simon that you must be disciplined, you must not allow demons enter you. And Nnamdi Kanu tells us that that demon I told you not to let you enter you cannot give you Biafra because he doesn't know how Biafra can be gotten. Now you have listened to all of those stuff. I played the one where Nnamdi Kanu told you that it is by force you're going to get Biafra, and you are busy writing all this while. From the time Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition, you never wrote to Nigeria government. Suddenly, after 150 days, you now tell us, you now give yourself title, and then you're not going to post letters there, as if that is what you need one day to do. As if you need 150 days, or as if you need the election to be over before you now begin to write letters. Letters and all that stuff have passed. The era of letters has passed. The era for letters, writing to UN, writing to, writing to Nigeria or whatever, has passed. Because from the moment you now began to make them feel that you have now piled up weapons ready to engage them, from that moment you are already on the template of forceful access and forceful action to get Biafra. But when you make people feel that you are coming forcefully and then you douse the tension, you now calm everything down, and then you begin to write letters and begin to tell them you have gotten this office and all of that stuff. We know your agenda. It's not in line with what Nnamdi Kanu represents. Because as soon as Nnamdi Kanu raised the dragon flag, the time for too much of talk was over. The program for Biafra restoration was supposed to commence. Now you jump in and capitalize on the situation that he has been kidnapped and rendition, extraordinarily renditioned. You now begin to, begin to come up out as if you are continuing with the template of that force, that dragon flag that had been lifted. And then you made people believe in you and begin to fund you. And then suddenly you used, of course, you used the election as a pointer to them, for them to be like, oh, by that time we will be free. And now as soon as that was over, you now come back to your normal program. Yes, I've gotten the people to my side. Now I can begin to do what I want to do. Now, the whole concept of ESN, rubbish. ESN is now in disarray under your watch because of your actions, recruiting criminals to use them against the ESN. But I tell you, you have put yourself in a spiritual position where you will be cut off suddenly, because that breach of spiritual security in quest for Biafra is not going to be taken for granted by the spiritual. Now listen to this and get the facts, the principles of how Biafra can be achieved. Please listen to it very, very carefully so that you can write out these principles, and then you can now understand the difference from what Simon was saying. We don't patronize demons. Nnamdi Kanu said it in this particular video. Listen to it again.
If we abandon Chukwukika Biama in truth and honesty, please give back to Biafra. Biafra had in the pure bliss. You'll be only running around in circles. You can never come. It is the kingdom of heaven itself. You want to do something that is happening in heaven, on earth, for mankind to see and testify to the goodness of the Lord. You have to be of the covenant. You have to be without fear in the face of your enemies. If you are without fear.
Now, the next segment we're going into is what Martin Nnamdi just said now, which I'm not going to be talking about it now because of time. We're going to be rounding up now. The next time I'm going to come up on this topic, I'm going to talk about it. It might not be the same topic, or it might be part 2 of this. I'm going to talk about this. Now, that segment is when Martin Nnamdi said in that audio, he said that if you want to do what is being done in heaven here on earth, then you cannot go this way. Now, that is the part I want to critically go into, where we now have the serious breach of spiritual security. Because in that particular line, which Martin Nnamdi projected in there, he was talking about an activity in heaven. and which of course is supposed to be expressed on earth. And that is what will take me to the point I began with in this broadcast, when we were looking at how nations were formed and how tongues came about and how God instituted nationhood by tongue and activities. When tongues and languages to divide them, and now from that point they will now start creating their own sect of religion and all of that from the fundamentals that they have gotten from the Nimrodic process. Now, but the nations were built, and God decided and initiated nationhood as at that time, which means that the Biafra being under Nigeria is illegal spiritually. But we are going to come to the point of how we are breaching spiritual security by our actions, and fundamentally for those people, Simon and Co., who are breaching spiritual security in the quest for Biafra. We know that they are not going after Biafra. They are all about the organization and building the organization. And if along the way now, if for instance Nigeria just comes up now and says they want to conduct a referendum, they are going to now translate their own concept of Nigeria into that form of Biafra, which will not corrupt the original concept and nature of Biafra, which means all these people you see that refuse to give you account now, they don't want to account to you, they will now form the government in that new Biafra. You can imagine what that kind of place can be. It will be worse than Nigeria. Nigeria gives you account. Nigeria can tell you some stuff. They go there, you see account, they show you account. But these are people now. The person look at the whole positions they occupy. Look at the people who occupy the positions. One, they don't have intellectual ability to reason properly. Their master, Simon, is not critical in reasoning. It does not have anything inside of him. Empty, obviously empty. We can tell that. Now you can imagine what he will give you. He doesn't even have the capacity of leadership. He doesn't have the attributes of leadership. He doesn't know how to engage people. When he sees people who are smarter than him, he feels threatened and he wants to get them off the way. Now look at those kinds of things, and then look at the kind of Biafra you're looking for. Now 3, you look at somebody like Azuka. She's now called the Minister of Defense, and then she's now also in charge of the finance, and the monies are in the husband's account. The monies of Biafra will be in their individual accounts. That's what it is. That's what it means. And that is the foundation we're talking about. When you want to start a thing, you must give it a standard and value. And that standard and value begins from the foundation. Foundation Nnamdi Kanu has laid straight the things. Now we are building. Building, you need the materials that will withstand the foundation. If the building does not have materials that will withstand the foundation, it will crumble. And that is why we are saying now that for us to build and get Biafra, we must maintain the narrative of the foundation. And that is why accountability group and transparency group is here, so that we can follow the format of what has been instituted in the foundation. Now, Mazinam Kanu says something critical here, and I'm going to play it again for you to listen, for you to hear it. And then next time I come in this narrative, I'm going to speak on that. Listen to it.
If we abandon Chukwuka Biama in truth and honesty, kiss goodbye to Biafra. Biafra had in the
Kiss goodbye to Biafra if you abandon Chukwuka Biama in truth and honesty. Kiss goodbye to Biafra. It will never come in a trillion years. Listen to it again.
If we abandon Chukwuka Biama in truth and honesty, kiss goodbye to Biafra. Biafra had in the years.
If you believe Nnamdi Kanu, that simply tells you that as long as they have embraced Satan, Biafra cannot come. And the only way you know when people have embraced Satan is what they do. What they do tell you that they have embraced Satan. It is what they do that can practically make you understand. That's why I said, by their fruits you shall know them. So when it comes to tell you that, we're even if it means to embrace Satan, it's simple. By their fruits, by their actions, we already know. We already know. Because by what he has been doing so far, everything he does, everything he says does not come to pass. Lies. And who is Satan? The father of liars. Now, I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it to the point where he talked about the kingdom, where he was making reference to Matthew chapter 6 from verse 10. Listen.
If we abandon Chukwuka Biama in truth and honesty, kiss goodbye to Biafra. Biafra had in the years. You'll be only running around in circles. You can never come. It is the kingdom of heaven itself. You want to do something that is happening in heaven on earth.
We say amen here. You're talking, you're supporting Simon, and you say I'm the criminal. You say I'm supporting evil. So say amen to this prayer. If I am supporting evil, let the evil come upon me. If you are the one supporting evil, or you are the one perpetrating evil, let it come upon you. Anybody who is supporting evil and anybody who has put their hands in evil, no matter who they are, let it fall on them and their generations and generations and generations to come. He say, amen, amen. This will be static and stationary. Where are those e-frogs?